The experts that best communicate their culture and their vision to their potential clients are those entrepreneurs that we remember. I'm Shelby Jo Long with the Expertise Podcast, and here we explore the stories of those entrepreneurs to inspire you to think about how you can monetize your expertise. Hello, everyone, and welcome to an episode of the Expertise Podcast, where I have the opportunity to introduce you to an entrepreneur that has transformed their expertise into an income stream. And today, I'm very excited to talk to a local Billings, Montana entrepreneur, Nico Cordero, and I'm going to talk to him about his business, 406 Memories. Nico and I have known each other for quite some time. The root of our friendship goes back to Rocky Mountain College, where he was a communications studies student and I was his professor, and we got to know each other in that respect. And then now it's been really exciting to be a part of and to know Nico in a different sense, in that we're both local entrepreneurs, both in very similar circles, a lot of the same events, and it's really fun to see where his business has grown. His business, 406 Memories, has grown exponentially over the past year, and he's really found his niche into what he really enjoys doing and what he's an expert in. And I'm just going to tell us all about that. And I'm excited to have you here, Nico. So welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Shelby. Yeah, you're such an awesome speaker. Thanks for that intro. That was great. Yeah, and it's true. I mean, Shelby was my professor. That's how our relationship began at Rocky. And then after that, she helped me get involved into, certain groups and networking and getting connected with the community. So yeah, that was great. And then that's pretty much where my business started, Shelby, was during the last periods of my like Rocky career. That's when you start thinking, oh, well, what do I really want to do? What do I really want to do? And then there was other things that I gravitated towards. Like during that time, I was already doing some like photo booth work and for other companies, and getting involved with like weddings and that in that manner. So that was really exciting. And that's when I found out that I really love doing that.
Yeah.
At the time, I didn't quite understand what that was going to look like, but then I took that, and then some of the training that they had given me with the DJ stuff. And so, yeah, that's pretty much how it all worked out from like the college, like taking it from the idea I didn't really know how it all was going to happen. And that's where when coincidentally I met you as well, being like my advisor and my professor at Rocky for communications. So during that time, when I had some time off and stuff, I started to think about, what we can do. And then I was involved with the newspaper for Rocky. So that's when I was taking a lot of photos then, all the different assignments. If we had to go to sporting events, or if we had to talk about the weather or geopolitical events, things like that, I would be assigned to go take those photos. So I really got me involved with like events and community, and like telling that story through the photo. So because that photo kind of brings you into what the story is about. That's what the hope is, right? So that's where I really got connected there. And then with the weddings, I was involved, but it's really hard to just get started in weddings, right? Because no one's just going to trust you right off the bat for weddings. So you need to build your experience, your expertise, your portfolio, right? So that's where all that back work really helped. And then started doing more with portraits, more with couples. And then after a while of maybe doing some families, some kids and stuff, I really found that I really love couples more than anything when Kayla and I do it together.
Sure.
So that's what I really found that I'm really like love doing. So that's when we went in head first into all the wedding stuff, especially since we do the DJing. then we combine both of them. So we
Yeah,
were able to do that, and that's been really, really awesome. And we've been, like you said, um, exponentially growing. And then we just got awarded like best wedding photography this last year. So that was really awesome, a good reassurance that we're doing something right, to take it in the right direction. Um,
absolutely. I love, just to interrupt you for a minute. I love that you have this. I love that I love a few things. So you have this comprehensive media service, and you love telling stories, and you have the opportunity to do that not only in an audio way, like with the music at the wedding and a DJ, but then you do it visually too. And I think that's such an important connection to have. And I don't think there's many businesses like that out there. So I think that that's a really, not, you're carving out a really unique niche, particularly in this environment. But if a person that's getting married, couple that's getting married, they can almost one-stop shop all of that area. And I think that's a really unique approach. For sure, that makes your summers really busy, but but at least
yes.
it's a lot of fun. And the other thing I really think is awesome about that is that you it's so interesting to hear about the journey of an entrepreneur, because you start with your idea and then you adjust to the market and the needs, but then you also do what you want to do, and you've created a business out of what you love. And that's why we're entrepreneurs, because we're doing what we love and we're doing it to serve others. So I think I don't know, those two things kind of stood out in your
Yeah,
story.
no, that's great. Thank you. Yeah, someone's knocking on my door, but we'll get to it soon. But
Yeah,
that's okay. They'll get back. The thing is, yeah, I think that's really cool. And what happened was also like because I got married like during college, which is very untraditional. Not a lot of people like have that. So Kayla really pushed me to like kind of put that into work, and
sure.
then into like, because a lot of it was the idea and it was kind of floating around, but a lot of the times it's like with that, I've heard like there can be a lot of ideas, but you need the willpower to execute them, right?
Absolutely.
So that's kind of what she held me on, because and then what that looked like is pretty much like posting on Facebook, or maybe on Marketplace, like, hey, we're offering this photo shoot or something, and that's how it started. And then of course building the education and portfolio from there. um, but yeah, that's really how it started. And then of course investing back into the business, I mean, build like putting the money back into the business for equipment, for systems, for just all these things that you need to be successful. You need to feed the business, because it's kind of like an entity of its own. So you need to make sure you nurture it and have that. That's very important. But yeah, that's how our journey happened. And then yeah, you figure out what you want to do with your time, because you have such a limited time here in the world. So you figure out what you're good at and what you can make the most impact. I really love taking like that communications background, right, my degree, and then putting in forward to the business community. So that's why we've been working together with you since the past year and a half, like doing headshots and doing like the branding sessions, just going and telling those stories of those business professionals. And that's what I really am passionate about doing by myself. So like when we come together as a couple, it's when we do weddings and the couples, but I'm very passionate about like the business development and that side of the community. So that's why I really love connecting with like business owners, entrepreneurs, and helping them just show their best self in the best light possible, and then just show what elevates them, their personality as well, and then bring out those unique aspects in photos.
Yeah, and having gone through that session with you, there's a it's a lot more than just a headshot. there's a lot of thought that goes into it. There's a lot of discovering the personality. It's very much, it very much mirrors everything that I talk about in the world of branding, because it's all about your personality. It's all about your charisma. It's all about how you appear to the audience and make that emotional connection. And the training that you've had has been more in the communication space, but you're applying that in the visual space. And I think that's I like to do that in the communication space, but I don't have the eye for it in the visual space. And that's a skill that is at least and you've discovered that you had that skill, and then you keep nurturing that and moving that forward. And I think that's a true entrepreneur right there, is taking your skills and then changing and adapting and trying to learn more. And because you know that you don't know all the answers, but you know that you're going to work hard to get them no matter what. So I think I love all
definitely. Well, I appreciate that, Shelby. That's awesome and encouraging. Thank you.
So Nico, where do you see your business? I mean, you and your wife are doing very well in 406 Memories. What's the next step for you, do you think?
Yeah, so our next step is to take it to the next level. Like you said, I mean, we have a lot of ideas, but then, we have to back up with the executing it. So I want to bring a lot new things to Billings in terms of weddings, specifically like just new forms of entertainment, new effects. For example, for like DJ services, I have this really exciting thing where we can do like a crazy hour, or the hora loca, which means the crazy hour. And we bring like 2 or 3 entertainers to hype up the crowd before the party like dies down and everyone leaves.
Yeah.
To basically turn that around and have people stay and have that party be where you want to be, and not go to the bars or downtown and stuff like that. Or I also want to do like dancing in the clouds. This is very DJ specific, but where the couple can like dance on just, it looks like an effect of like clouds, and it's a bunch of like fog and stuff, and then some crazy pictures that way. Things like that, just to elevate the wedding industry and kind of the market that we're hitting, and hopefully, wow people and have like a more intense experience that anyone's ever experienced at a wedding here, like in Montana. So we want to think about that.
Something, you already have a unique product, but something to even elevate that even more, and to make that a product that no one else has, and people know you for that. So even carving out your niche even more. I love that, because what I do in my business is I help people think of different income streams that they can create for their business. And there's just kind of different add-ons or different value adds that you can have for your clients, that I can provide this for you. And it's a way that you can elevate your offer, but it's also a way that you can separate yourself from the other photographers. So
yeah, and like photo booths are really popular now in weddings too. And just so the client doesn't have to go look for a completely different company just for their photo booth. They, like you said, they could just add it on. Sure. And they're already working with us as a 406 Memories couple, and then they could add that on, and it'll be there for their wedding. Everything will be taken care of. They don't have to stress about it.
Right.
They don't have to fork out another deposit or whatnot. It's the add-on that they choose, and that's how I think that works really well. And that's where we try to find different elements that people want, right? So like photo booths were really requested for a couple years, and we didn't have access to get one quite yet, and now this is the first year that we're able to offer one. So
that's great.
It's really exciting and cool, especially because people want them at their weddings.
Sure. Well, gosh, Nico, what do you have coming up? What's your next big project?
Yeah, so the other thing that I would like to do is start doing, in terms of weddings, doing hopefully more destination weddings. Yeah. I'm going to be traveling to Ecuador in April. So hopefully I can maybe get a couple couples there too, and then get more known as someone that travels more. of course, like the 406 Memories kind of situates you in Montana and where you're known. But me as a person of just another country and international traveler, I just love cultures, and I would love to do some weddings overseas, in Europe or South America, stuff like that. And then, yeah, I've been really focusing on helping, like, just highlighting what people are doing. People like Devon Hayes with TEDx, or like Kelly Maxwell, like yourself, Shelby, all these amazing things that you guys are doing. I love to collaborate with people like that, and just showcase what they're up to in a cool and awesome visual arts fashion, and then get some awesome imagery from that.
That's so cool. You have your hands on a lot of things. Another piece of your background is that you're from Ecuador, and so that's
Yes.
That's a unique piece, and I think it'd be to speak to that and to be able to offer something in that area, I think is really cool. And partnerships are the way to go. That's what for us solo entrepreneurs out there. How can we work together to elevate everybody around us? And that's, I think, we have our own expertise, but our expertise is also connected to a lot of other people too. So there's a lot of magic in that, a lot of energy in that we need to harness. And it sounds like you're more than ready to. So.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, we're always looking to grow and to move into the next level. So
yeah,
yeah,
I'm excited for you and your business. It's going to be great. I'll just let everybody know on the podcast that I'll make sure that 406 Memories, that the website and Nico's contact information is in the podcast channel, so you can access him whenever you want. Sounds like you can travel if you want to. We can access your portfolio. I'm excited to see my pictures. So there's a lot of fun things coming up. So.
Yes, be ready to tune into Shelby's pictures. Those will be like all over social media probably by next week. So whenever this gets posted and distributed, but yeah, I'm excited to share those, Shelby.
Me too. I'm very excited. Well, Nico, is there anything else you want to add before we wrap up the interview?
No, other than people, should, if they don't already know about your program, or if they're considering it, they should definitely really think about it. I feel like my story is kind of like that perfect example. I mean, think about how fast I could have, maybe 10x or just grown without all the pain points if I had your course, because I had to make all these mistakes and all this long time figuring this out. Since like 2018, now we're 4 years, when a lot of those puzzle pieces could have probably been solved or thought out a little bit differently if you had someone like your course.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I do know and understand the importance of having a coach and walking you through a process and thinking about strategically what's the best option. So I appreciate that a lot. So the expertise project helps you as an entrepreneur walk through a way to transform your idea to income. And it's great to have really solid and successful examples of those people that have done that in their past and that are going to continue doing that in the future and that have transformed their passion into an income stream. So Nico, I thank you for coming on today and talking about 406 Memories. And I look forward to the photos, and I look forward to working together with you again in the future and referring people to your business, because love supporting local business and love supporting people that have their passions. So I appreciate that. So thanks again.
Thank you, Shelby, for having me on. Yeah, awesome chatting with you always.
Yes. And I will wrap up the podcast. And next time I like to host this podcast to inspire you to think about how to transform your expertise into an income stream, and to understand that there's lots of possibilities out there, especially in the digital world, of how you can monetize your genius to be able to create an impact. So I'll see you next time on the Expertise Podcast, when we'll talk to another expert that has transformed their expertise into an income stream. See you next time. We hope you've enjoyed this episode of the Expertise Podcast and hope you're inspired to think about how to further monetize the expertise and the processes that you have in your own business. See you next time.